Alright, so as you all might know, I'm a graphic designer. I'm gonna bring you through a few things that I do to create a poster because I haven't really touched on that, and I think I need to talk about that just a little bit. So it can be a fairly easy process depending on the complexity of the poster or whatever you want to design. It can be a poster for a client or it can be for yourself. So it depends. But all of these that I'm going to talk about are basically what I apply to any poster.
Okay, I trust you on that. We'll do that.
But I'm just going to tell you 5 things that I do. 5 main things that I always consider. Now, the first thing is getting information. So getting the data from the client. If you're working with somebody or if you're making the poster for somebody, if you're doing it for yourself, just write down all the things that you will need, like a title, phrases, date, venue. It depends on what kind of poster it is. Just make a note of everything that you're going to write on it. That's going to be text. And make sure that you have all the information, and that's important. The next thing that I usually do is get the pictures, get photos from online. Pixels is a good place for you to get photos. Good high quality pictures. Pixels is good. But if you can't get what you want, just go to Google Images, copy and paste the image into Photoshop, get what you want. Usually if you're creating a poster, you're going to do a lot of changes to anything that you take online. So keep that in mind as well. So you get your pictures, whether it's from the client, if the client wants specific pictures on the poster, or if you're making it for yourself, then you get the best pictures that you would want. Then you get fonts and assets. These are going to be like small PNG files, like if you want a little fire or a little smoke or a little bubble or a little something, those are what I call assets. So you get those PNG files, you download those from online. You actually have free websites that gives you free PNG files that you can download. And as I said, if you can't get the files that you want, then Google Images is free. So you go there, download them, and slap them into Photoshop. Next thing, I get a background. Now the reason it takes so long to get the background and I don't have the background on it before is because sometimes I may change the background, or I may have multiple backgrounds depending on the design that I have in my brain, because while you're doing it, your mind can change, your design thoughts can change a lot, especially if you're sitting on it for a few hours and you get up and go somewhere do something and then come back. You have a totally different view on it and you can change the design. So I usually leave the background for last because I can use multiple different backgrounds, or I can just use one background depending on what I have there. So I get the background and then I get opinions. That's the most important thing that I do.
Are you sure about this?
Because it's hard for me to do a poster and not know what other people think about it. So getting extra opinions from other persons to see, okay, maybe somebody sees something that probably could have been changed or probably could have been done differently to look more attractive, while you probably weren't focused on that. You were just focusing on getting the information in and making it just look like a good poster.
You have to be patient with yourself, right?
But there might be other small, slight details that another person can see. The person doesn't even have to know anything about posters and designs. They just see it and they say, oh, maybe you can put something like that there. So you need other opinions, whether it's from the client if you're working with somebody or just other persons in general. I'm going to jump over to the screen now and show you guys how I do this. I'm launching Photoshop from a separate desktop, so you're not seeing it. This is a beautiful Photoshop coming up. It's Photoshop from 1990. Photoshop from 1990. That's how old this thing is. Okay. When we get to this page, guys, we'll click on this right here that says create new. Boom. Alright, now you're gonna change these values, and the reason I'm doing this, I'm gonna tell you why. So 2500 by 2500, you can keep it 300 pixels. Make sure that this is at pixels and not inches or anything else. Width 2500, height 2500, and create that. The reason we're doing this, we want something like a square. Usually the first thing that I say that we're gonna do. So we're just gonna slap some text in right here, and then Then July 7th. And what I like to do, I like to put these in circles. I don't know why, but it's just my thing. Everyone has their own perspective on these things, so you let me know what you think about this in the comments. Although it's a very simple poster, but let me know what you would do to this poster. Another thing that to keep your work tidy is make a new group by clicking on that icon right there and renaming it as text, because things are gonna get very crowded very soon. So as soon as you start putting text on, you put them in a folder, in a group. Alright, so we have $20 for our entry here. I like to put this in something like a rectangle. As you do these things, the mind will change a lot. So don't be afraid if you do something and you're not getting it at the same time. So just use your imagination when you're doing this. I don't know, I'm a graphic designer. I love this. I had no idea what I was gonna do before I went into this, and now I'm just doing this shit. I don't know. But anyways, not gonna be perfect, guys, but spend the time and do your properly, please. You have people that criticize these things a lot. So make sure that you spend the time and do your work properly. I'm gonna hold Alt, click and drag. That's going to duplicate. Control T, have the ability to transform this, and then you're gonna hold Shift and drag one of the sides. Drag it till you're comfortable with it. Boom, something like that. Doesn't necessarily have to be perfect, but once it looks close. And yeah, so we're gonna put this right here. This font is a very nice looking font. I'm not sure, but it looks very nice. So we're dragging it here. Sometimes you can change just one letter to something that looks better for you, and even adjust its size if it makes you more comfortable as well. Do you think that makes you comfortable? Makes the client comfortable? Just drop something, then practice to do this. Practice to use your blending options. They can really help. Because see right now I'm just, and in a case like this, when you started to add so many different assets, change the background now. Add just a normal background. Make sure that it's not white. Then just duplicate that. Control Z, add a little rotation to it. From the edge right here, this arrow turned into this. That's where we do the rotation. And do that. Hold Alt, duplicate it again. Switch it the other direction. And we have some really weird shit going on right here. And another thing that I like doing is typing like gradient and seeing some nice gradients. Taking this one, possibly taking this one, and let's try with those for now. Deselect the circle because we want to keep the circle. And this, remember, this doesn't have to be perfect. It's a part of the background, so it most definitely does not have to be perfect. And you find yourself having to do a lot of cutting off of things, so you don't have to pressure yourself on certain parts of it. It's just the parts that will be shown you need to pressure yourself on. But like this now, for example, I've gotten rid of that. I hit delete. Hold on. No, we use that one already. But we want this one. This is the one that we want. Usually I'm gonna kind of keep the fonts the same. Don't use more than 3 or 4 fonts. And that's kind of a lot. If you can use 3 alone, that's good. I mean, to be honest, that doesn't look too bad. Take this joke off. I'd rather minimize this joke. Nice. That doesn't look bad. Let's small this down and add a black stroke to it. You can also copy layer style, paste layer style, boom, same stroke. Voila, it doesn't look bad. Would you come?